now, you know, as I was saying, speaking of death, now that I've played all of the classic Shadowgates, it's time to start playing the game that all the cool kids are talking about. Developed by Sojoy. I'm not entirely certain of what their relation to the other Shadowgates is. Might be the same people, might be a new team, I don't know. But they were the ones responsible for the development of this game, which we're about to witness. It also has a nice, nice skeleton cursor. Because this is the Shadowgate remake, which came out earlier this year, just a few months ago, if I recall. After 27 years, it was finally made. Also, you might notice a slight something about the music for this game. Currently the title screen music, which is a bit of a remaking of the regular old Exploring the Castle music from the first game. But that is only part of the surprises, one of the surprises that this game has. Because if we go into the settings, yes, the settings menu, you might notice an option that says Retro Mode. And if we select Retro Mode Audio and return to the title screen, we are graced with the soundtrack of the NES version of the game. And indeed, if we return to the main menu, it now has the title screen music from the first Shadowgate on the NES, well, the NES version at least. Because it was first released for the Mac, but that version didn't have music. Of course, that was all changed when the NES version was released and this game's immortal soundtrack was made public. But since we've already played the old version with the original NES soundtrack, we're going to check out the new music that they've made for this game. And play with tutorials, I don't know. There are 3 difficulties now, something that I don't think exists in any other Shadowgate. Multiple difficulty levels. You get Apprentice for beginners, Journeyman for casuals, and Master, which is closest to the classic version for only experienced adventurers. And you know, since we've beaten all of the Shadowgates, we're gonna play on Master. Tutorials, why not? Might as well show that off as well. I don't think it affects anything else. So let's get the show on the road.
A hero's journey? A great quest? Certainly it shall be these things. But for you, young Jer Cuthega, soldier of Windermere, could it not be so much more? In dreams, I have come to you, beseeching, entreating. Ride south, boy. Take naught but a dirk, a torch, courage. Ride south from Rivellin, around the southern arm, through the Waven Fair Wood, past Myrithath, beyond the citadel of Murlach Tor, and the spires of Gimdane, and the darkness of Tarketh's Pass. There you shall find my stone in wait. Under the shade of the mountain range, none have entered, either on foot, on mount, on wing. Gatekeeper, the oldest of spires, it harbors that which has been spoken of in whispers and ascribed to legend. Shadowgate, the living castle. But all is not as it should be. One of our own is now our great bane, a blight upon us. He has brought the ancient keep low, and it now lies fallow. It is there that you will find me, Blackmere of the Circle of 12. It is there that you will find this great quest. It is there that you will find yourself.
And on that note, here we go. We are transported, yes, to the entrance of the castle. Stand before the Gatekeeper Mountain. And we get a little tutorial as to how to play the game. I honestly don't know why we wouldn't take a sword, but especially since I think we can obtain a sword, relatively early. But to begin our quest, we need to take this skull on the ground here. And its name is Yorick. And as you might recall, earlier and when I finished playing Shadowgate 64, there was a bit of a comic book that they made based on a scrapped idea for a game called Shadowgate Rising. And in that comic there was a skull of a guy called Eurystheus something, I forget what. Or Yorick for short. So there is a slight possibility that this is the same guy, but this is basically our hint fairy for this game. As he tries to teach us how to play the game. Beginning with this key. We got our inventory, and yes, unlike the first Shadowgate rather, we can carry around as many things as we want, and we cannot get encumbered, so that's quite nice. So let's do what the game is telling us to do and use our dirk to cut these roots over here, and take the helm, which they apparently surrounded. We can also use stuff on ourselves, such as this helmet that we've just picked up. And for the most part, it's not really integral to the game what we're wearing, but it is necessary to get a couple of items to solve some puzzles. For now though, let's use this key that we found to unlock the door and open it. Actually, wait a moment, before we go inside though, let me look at these roots on the ground. Okay, maybe not. Let's go inside then. Yeah, notice too, we got our torch on the lower right here. Which, as we brought it with us apparently the whole way, it's about to go out. So, in order to survive, we're gonna have to steal as many torches off of these walls as we can. Can we take the other torch? Not yet, we need to follow the tutorial still. If we use ourselves on this lever, we can operate it. Okay, about to end the tutorial at least. We get a map. We can't use it to walk around, but it does show us what's the lay of the rooms we've uncovered. We got the back button in case we want to go back. And we can speak to the skull if we need advice, but as I wanted to do earlier, I actually want to backtrack just a bit. See if we can't comment on these roots on the ground. Length of root, vaguely like the letter S. Can we take the roots? Yes, we can. I have a feeling we might need them for something, but... Yeah, this game isn't exactly like the first Shadowgate. They did change up quite a few things. But let us repeat our tradition of collecting torches back from those days. Let's get this key. Let's examine this thing on the ground. It's a sling. Why not? Let's pick it up as well. If we look at this door in the back. Can we open this door? We cannot. Well, maybe if we use this key that we just found on it. Yeah, apparently that was it. Notice too that the way the text appears with a feather sort of writing it is a consequence of me having the classic text thing enabled. Because normally it would just appear, but I think that's a nice detail to have. That's how it appeared in the NES version of the game, so let us open the door and...
Blackmere was a fool to send a child to do that which even the vaunted Circle of 12 could not. Contain my growing power. Come if you wish. It makes little difference. Seal your fate within this living castle of the dead.
Yep, so the Warlock Lord's menacing, glowing eyes got a bit of a graphical upgrade. There's something else I think that we can do, sort of in homage to the NES version. Notice how when we move between rooms, there's sort of this blur and zoom effect. Well, keep that in mind for now. I guess we're searching the this corpse here. Okay, wait a moment. I kind of want to save before I do that, but the game won't let me. Because I'm playing on tutorial mode, but I brought that upon myself. Let me see. And from reading that book, we get a new spell called Invoken. Wonder what that could be for. And we can buy certain items or things to certain keys. Like we can just press 1 to use an Invoken spell or anything. But it does nothing to this statue. Of course, we also got this scroll on the ground. And if we look at it, it says it's addressed to Fandril, and apparently it's from Blackmere. Yeah, it says to look for his obelisk. And since apparently we don't want the Warlock Lord having anything to do with the scroll, we need to burn it. It's not like it's vital information anyway, it's just a bit of a hint. So having done that, let's take these 2 torches, as we always do with these. And let me see, we can quick save in this game by pressing F5. And very cool, in the first game, if you try to take the book off of this thing, we are met with this. Death, where the floor just disappears. So already we have our first death of the game.
Today, death has claimed a hero of the realm.
And Space Reaper looks over us as we are treated to a somber piano version of the death theme from Shadowgate 1. So let's not try to take the book now. We already know it's completely futile. Also, if you paid attention to the transitions earlier, we can also change them to retro mode. Which basically means that when we move from, say, left to right here, we will get, yep, These very distinctive transitions, which are straight from the NES game. I might keep those on, actually. Notice too that this door is apparently glowing. Yeah, because I had it selected, I didn't even notice that. I also got a bit of a set of bones on the ground. Can we try to speak to the skull? Yep, he died. So let's take the skull. I forgot for a second that the actions also have some keyboard shortcuts. We can take the satchel, the sack, the bones. Even though they don't really have a use, but why not? So what's inside this little sack that we just picked up? The answer is, apparently, dice and a scroll. So what's in the scroll, I wonder? Also, we're apparently carrying something that says Seek ye the Black Axe. I don't think that comes into play at any point in the game that isn't master difficulty, but I still don't know what it's for. Also, hello, lizard man. Yeah, I'm gonna try to show off as many deaths as I can, I think, as per Shadowgate tradition. The danger is real. Seal off the passages into the Gatekeeper Mountains. Apparently Fandril, whose corpse I think was in the last room, signed that scroll. But let's begin our exploration by opening up all of these doors. Let's see what's beyond the middle door. The answer is a mummy chamber. Because if you recall, there was a bit of this chamber was in Shadowgate the first as well. But there's a bit of a difference between these this version and earlier ones. Namely, yeah, that. Every time we open a coffin, I don't know if it happens every time actually, but wait a moment. Fuck, how do you reload a quick save? Because I made a quick save there for a reason. Because when you meet the Banshee, something bad happens. And I'm trying to find out now, through a bit of save scumming, to see if I can do anything here without meeting the Banshee. I'm assuming that you can't. The moment you open up one of these coffins, the Banshee comes out and screams at you, which sets something bad in motion. But opening the coffins themselves leaves us with these mummies. Very old linen cloths. So of course, let's be a decent person and burn them all. Which reveals a sword that was concealed within the mummy's wrappings. A shield. A leather shield, I think. Or a wooden shield. One of the two. A skull. And a scroll. I think we need this skull, actually. Because it has a special symbol on its forehead. So what's inside the scroll? A drawing of a castle with a single tall spire in the center. 3 times right, then once pulled down. Twice past midnight points the ruined crown. Light becomes dark, the king sits throne, the masked one revealed shall mark the stone. I'm actually not sure what that's a reference to, but if we burn the last mummy, we will find more ancient wrappings. An amazing gold scepter and leather sack also fall to the ground. If we open up the sack, we find a scroll. Oh yeah, we can also equip the shield, but I'm not gonna do that just yet because of a reason. The scroll says, when Majal's tail lights in autumn skies and the alignments are in apogee, then shall the eagle appear. Yeah, I'm afraid I don't really know what this particular scroll means. because this game does have a lot of cryptic clues like this, but we can also get this little scepter here. This gem-encrusted scepter, but I think what I'm going to do instead, because it's kind of important that we don't run into the Banshee too early, is reload real quick. Oops, no. I meant... No, cancel. Fuck, how do you load things again? Well, guess what? Oh, there we go. I was clicking on the wrong thing because I'm an idiot. Well. So we're gonna skip opening any of the coffins for the time being. And I will explain why. When I finally decide to do it. These torches, yeah, we can hit them. We cannot take them. Because they're welded to a bracket. But if we hit all of the torches, the middle coffin gives way, revealing a stairway leading down, which leaves us in this room, the Elven Fund House at King Otto's Fair. And this room does have more torches, which we can steal, as well as a broom and a vial. Don't know if the vial has anything that important, but yeah, you can, but we're kind of lacking the means to do so as of right now. So let us instead check the right door in this hallway. Which leaves us on the shores of a placid underground lake. There is a skeleton chained to a rock over in the distance, but also there is something large and ominous deep below the surface of these black waters. You know, in the old versions you could just outright see that there were sharks in the water. But now if we try to reach the skeleton, we are greeted by something which coils around our legs and pulls us underwater. So we got killed by a lake monster this time rather than sharks.
'Tis a sad thing that your adventures have ended here.
Yeah, that's a message that's closest to the death message you got every time in the first Shadowgate. So we're not gonna try to reach that skeleton guy just yet. Instead, when the game loads, there we go, let's have a look around. Because apparently there's another passageway over here. And if we go up it, we will find the source of the waterfall, along with an undulating mass of water which hovers over the river, aka a liquid elemental. Yeah, elementals are kind of a thing in this game that wasn't in any of the other Shadowgates. And also, if we look in the back, I think somewhere around here is a symbol, which is kind of important to remember, but I can't really catch sight of it right now. So yeah, really not much else we can do in this area. So let's instead go ahead and backtrack to the hallway and go to the left door to find ourselves in a frosty room. And now we got an ice elemental here, as well as a key that's frozen in ice and a scroll that's frozen. We can take a torch or two from here as well, so why not, let's do that. Speaking of torches, we can use ours to unfreeze these frozen objects. So let's take this key and unfreeze the scroll as well. Open it, see what's inside. Apparently it's a new magic spell, a gap. Glyph glowing with power, which is how we remember the spell. There's also a creature in the roof of this room, frozen. Perhaps that of a massive arachnid. Wonder how it got into that situation, but not much I can do to unfreeze it now. So let us instead go ahead and open this door in the back. And go within. Oh boy. Yep, we are now in the dragon's lair. So let's quickly save. Well, there's a bunch of nice stuff in this room, so why not? Let's try to take, for example, this helmet. Or this hammer. Which results in us being scorched to death by the dragon.
What a pity that you have failed in your grand quest.
There's a few different death messages in this. So we get some variety as we do that. We get through this and show off all the deaths. Well, there is something we can do to protect ourselves from this guy, but very cool. In the first Shadowgate we just passed this guy. Well, not past him, but we kept from dying by using a shield, which we don't have any of them right now. Well, there was a shield, I think a wooden shield we could pick up in the Banshee room, but there is another shield here, so let's see. If we look at the shield. Looks as if it could protect us from anything, so let's go ahead and take it. Nope. Not quite the correct solution, because the dragon burns us up regardless. You know, just taking the shield.
You have chosen poorly, young Jer.
In the old NES version at least, just taking the shield was enough to get protection from the dragon, but this time we got to think a little bit sharply. We got to be a little bit sharper. And take advantage of these game's unique mechanics, namely taking the shield, using it on ourselves. And this time we managed to use the shield quickly enough to protect ourselves. So let's go ahead and take the hammer now, which we will need. Which I think the most useful item in this room. We can see too a skull with a pair of glasses melted onto its head. Why not? Let's take that as well. A shield is protecting us, but it is glowing red hot as well, so let's take the spear, I think. It's another thing we will need. The fire is taking its toll on the shield though. It's beginning to melt. So if we take the helmet, the rift, well, unfortunately that's it for our shield. So we can't really take anything else. We can try speaking to that skull in the back. But apparently that angers the dragon because he doesn't want us talking to its skulls, I guess. It's very protective of them.
"'Tis a sad thing."
Okay, I think the death messages are starting to loop, so let's try that one more time. Take the... well, we still have our shield, I think. It can take one more blast, so don't think we need a helmet. Let's just try being polite to the skull. We lose our shield, but we have everything we need from here. You know, we already have a helmet. Why do we need that other one? I don't know. And indeed we have claimed a new friend from the Dragon's Lair. This skull. If we try to speak to it... Herschel, is that you? Oh, I would say I get it, but I don't know, because... That seemed like it might have been a Professor Layton reference, but he doesn't wear glasses, so I don't know. If we try to take the glasses from it, though... No, the glasses. But if we examine it, it says the glasses are melted to its head. But if we use our dirk on it, we can pry the glasses free from the skull. Which means that the glasses are now in our inventory. Notice too, the torch's flame momentarily flickers. That's a bit of a hint that you need to do something quick. And if we turn on classic audio, this becomes a bit more evident. I'm gonna keep it on for a little bit. I don't know. Might be. There's something else though that we haven't really managed to unlock yet in this place. If you look at the ground, there's a circular hatch made of a strange stone set securely within a mortar base. Can we open it? No, it seems magically sealed. Okay, never mind. I guess we can't open that up yet. Never mind, my bad. Can, however, use our newly acquired hammer to attack this wall in the back, which reveals an opening. Before we go in there, though, there's something we're going to need from over in this place. Perhaps if we go into this door, and we go back to the mirror room, the Elven Funhouse. There's a couple of deaths we can get in here, I think. And for both of them we need to use our hammer on these mirrors. Yep, the mirror shatters and sprays the room with glass. Yes, I know about the torch that's faltering, but kind of waiting for the well, can't break that mirror further. Waiting for the your torch is going out music from the NES version to start playing. Oh boy, if we try to break this other mirror though, apparently there's some metal underneath. There's a door behind it, so clearly only good can come from attacking the rest of the mirrors. Can't attack this mirror though, apparently it's enchanted so we can't put even a dent in it. Same goes for this one. This one over on the, no, same thing. What about the far right one then? Oh boy. The mirror's shattering, so let's keep attacking it, see what comes of that. No, it refuses to break it further, that's a bit strange. That is indeed quite strange. Pretty sure something's supposed to happen here. Oh boy. Well, unfortunately, well, actually wait just a fucking moment, because I'm pretty sure that death is supposed to exist in this game. And even the people from Vine's house made kind of a big deal trying to get the Space Reaper death. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, Well, this is a bit distressing, but apparently we can't... That death isn't here, but we can't get it quite yet. I actually have no idea, but that death was so special in this version of the game. Oh, here we go. Yep. I was waiting for this music to start up, though. It means we didn't hear it, I think, in the... when I was playing the Max Shadowgate with the NES soundtrack, because I forgot to bring up this song, but this is what plays when your torch is about to run out. So I think we're going to just wait for that to happen, actually. No, don't close the door. Open it and go inside. Could go into the Dragon's Lair again. At least this place is well lit. Which is no good. Notice how the dim light that lights away falters more and more with each turn. Well, because there's no light inside this sealed castle. Notice how when our light starts to go out, it gets darker and darker. Torch's light is nearly snuffed. The light from our torches has been extinguished, and now we get to witness what happens when we run out of light. We trip and fall headlong towards the floor. Our head strikes something solid and snaps our neck like a twig. So yeah, when we have no light, we're pretty much doomed to trip and fall and break our necks. We also get the classic Grim Reaper music, at least, so that's a nice consequence of having the classic music turned on for that sequence. Well, let's go ahead and turn the new music back up, why not? Yeah, fuck walking cautiously. Well, maybe there is like a guru in the dark that trips us up on purpose. So let's not do that this time. Let us instead do what we need to do to not die. Well, it's time to open up the coffins and get cursed by the Banshee, somewhat inevitably. And the reason why I didn't do this as soon as I could is because once we meet that Banshee, we get cursed. Which means that if we don't find a cure within a certain number of turns, which, you know, thankfully is quite a large number of turns, but still, there's a time limit pretty much, we will die. And also as a consequence, our vision momentarily blurs when we get cursed by the Banshee. Yep, we get a shield too. Oh boy. Yeah, I think we're going to be stingy with our torch though. Because, you know, like in the original version, there is in fact a limited number of torches in this game. Hello? We can try speaking to the skull with the, the rune on its head that you can kind of see. You can open up this scroll and get the, this bit of information, the tall spire of the castle. And finally open up this, yes I know. Oh, he's talking about when the powering up system that the castle has, which we will activate in a little bit, because that's the purpose of the skull with the rune we just picked up. We got a new... yes, I know. Okay, fine, I'll light a new torch. We have 8 spare torches, so... So let's light another torch and stave off death for that much longer. We just picked up a scroll, and now we pick up this scepter. If we open up and read this new scroll, what did it say? Even though I'm quite certain I already read it. When Majal's tail lights in northern skies and the alignments are in apogee, then shall the eagle appear. I still don't know what this means, actually. And I have finished this game, so... Now that we have the runic skull, we need to backtrack actually to the start of the game. Okay, while we're here, might as well use our hammer to smash this wall open. And do something else we will need to in order to survive, and that is use this shield that we got on ourselves. Because even though it is a wooden shield and it wouldn't have survived the dragon's fire, hello Ambushbug, no, not the Illuminati, it will be useful for other purposes. We can also put on the glasses. So we're wearing glasses now, just something to keep in mind. So let's indeed get back out to the outside of the castle. And notice there's 3 slots in the row of skulls. The arch of skulls here, so let's use our newly acquired rune skull on the first of these. Rift glow and a thrum of power fills the air. Something just beyond the door seems to have come alive. So beginning with this room, we've just started powering up the castle, and I think now we can... No, it seems magically sealed, never mind then. Okay, wait, magically sealed generally means we can use a spell on it, so let's try that. Oh yes. Using a gap spell, we have managed to open up this thing. That transition is the classic transition from the NES version of the game. So we have stumbled into or upon this small room called Gears in the map. So you might be wondering, we can hit the levers. But what is the purpose of that? Well, this is something that I don't really know how you're supposed to divine, but if we use our dirk or our sword on this gear in the lower left, that does nothing. Alright, so I've encountered something a bit different. That usually worked in the, you know, ye old journeyman version, but I now have no clue what the combination is. Okay, wait, let me go ahead and bind this top a key, a number key, and see if that works on any of these things. No. 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 Wait, what? Perhaps if we use a spell. Nothing. If we use that other spell that we have. Nothing. Oh boy. Maybe the clue is in that other scroll that we picked up. Let me see. 3 times right and once pull down. No, I think this is a reference to something else, actually. Bit of an orientation puzzle. Yeah, this definitely wasn't in the first game. You can try to hit the button, but... something attempts to move, but fails. Yeah, you know what? You know, we're using up turns trying to push it in this screen, so let me try to find out what the correct course of action here is. Let me see. Also, when did this window become unfocused? God damn it. So yeah, there's a number of combinations that you can use on the gears, but I don't think there's any indication of what they are. So I need to figure it out through my own means. You know, the outright revealed what they were before in the middle difficulty. When you pried off this gear in the lower left, but apparently that's not a thing anymore. Yeah, the levers, you can move them. While I'm trying to figure this out, might as well, yeah, show that. You can put them in different positions and then hit the button. And if the combination of positions is good at all, something happens, but since it isn't, nothing's happening right now. Okay, wait a minute. I have a vague memory of this being a valid combination. But apparently it does nothing, never mind. Just wishful thinking on my part. So what I am left with in the meantime is the search for a helping hand. So it appears that in this mode, might as well load again to hide my embarrassment. Here you can in fact sit and think for as long as you want. Doesn't really count as past time unless you do stuff. Yeah, I don't know what the indication for the correct combination is, but in this mode, I know what the indication is in the middle difficulty, but can't say I know what it is in this mode, at least not yet. So let's see, if we put the fast lever in the middle, and we pull the third lever all the way down and then hit the button, that apparently triggers something. Maybe it's just trial and error for all I know in this mode. But now that we've done that, I think we can find out if we try to go this way again. Hello. That something has appeared in this room. A shimmering barrier of energy, and if we try to go that way, we can't go that way because the newly formed barrier of energy, which comes as a result of the castle being powered up, doesn't let us go that way. So let's instead head in this direction, into this new cave, where a figure moves within an opening at the back of the grotto, and shoots us with an arrow. But since we had a shield, the arrow just bounces off and lands on the ground. Bunch of skulls here though. Apparently we can sing at the skulls. All of them. Yep, I'm going to talk to every skull I find. I knew him well. But we're done speaking to the skulls, I think. Let's take this arrow that's just sitting there on the floor and try to keep advancing. We're now at the lava-filled chasm with the bridges, where we can find a brazier. No, the brazier, please. As well as something, a few things with stones protruding from the ground. A circle within a shield outline. It says Majal. Yeah, we can recognize the name. We can look at the rickety bridge over on the left there. A mounted skull apparently stands guard over the not rickety bridge. So let's try to cross this bridge on the right, sure, that seems like a great idea. Except here, it just sways under our weight, and we fall into the lava.
Tales of your great sacrifice shall be told throughout the land.
Notice the slight contempt with which the Reaper says sacrifice. Tales of your idiocy shall resonate forever. So let's not go that way this time. Instead, let's go over to the left bridge, to where we are faced with this thing. A shadow wraith. Well, before we do anything, let's go ahead and steal its torches. Notice the Triforce rune in the background there too. But to face this guy, let's try using a torch on him. Oh wait. That didn't quite work. How we expected now, did it? Can we look? Oh, hey, apparently there is an updated version of the torch is running out theme. I've actually never heard this version of the theme. So let's try to return here. Actually, I think we can survive if we just take another torch and light it in the... no, not the chasm, in the brazier. In the fire. We can survive. Well, that's a waste of a good torch, so let's not do that. There's another certain way we need to deal with that that wraith. And if I recall, in the first game we needed to find a special torch for that. Don't think that's the case in this game, but I don't recall how we're supposed to deal with that guy. It's also a good night, lizard man. Now I think once a torch is used up, you just can't light it anymore. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, one-time torch. All of the torches are one-time torches, really. And wouldn't you know it? There's a slight possibility we might have failed to acquire something that wasn't really necessary for other difficulties, but is kind of a big deal for this one. Here in this room of all places, there's something kind of peculiar about these candles that are on the next to the book. Maybe green sparks. Can we take the candle? Nope, we cannot take the candle. But the candle has a green flame, which is what we're after right now.
What a pity that you have failed in your grand quest.
What a pity that I've activated a trap that I had previously known about, yes. Because of the way that things are different in this game. So let's dodge the guy's arrow again. And this time, instead of trying to remove something from the altar and getting ourselves killed, we're going to use our torch on the candle, which makes it glow, apparently burn hotter and burn with an intense green flame instead. So now that we're equipped with a powerful green torch, let's use it, yep, on the Wraith. Oh boy, no use. Which causes it to, yep, to disappear. I think our torch is starting to get more consumed now, but the Wraith leaves behind its cloak, so let's take the cloak, why not? We are now the proud owners of a Wraith cloak, which we will put on. And just walk past this this room, since there's nothing else we can do right now. There. Hello. Yeah, the game seems a tiny bit laggy sometimes, for some reason. And if we look in at the wall of this room, we can find the engraving EPOR, which doesn't really mean anything in this game, I don't think. It's just a bit of poking fun at the first Shadowgate, where that was a spell that raised a rope up to a room above it, which in this case we apparently don't need. Yeah, the Triforce does do something, but we won't be using it for quite a while now. So let's check out what's the deal with this scroll. Apparently there's a new spell at our disposal, Entrise, and a bottle. There's also something in the floor here, a bar, and I think if we examine the gates here, we can maybe try opening them. This one will not budge. Oops. No, well, this one. The grate feels somewhat loose. Or maybe if we use our newly acquired bar for leverage. Oh yes, we have managed to open up one of these things. Also, our torch is starting to run out, but we're still gonna be stingy with them. Because I'm kind of paranoid. And wouldn't you know it, we're now in a cave with an obelisk. So let's take all of the mushrooms. They seem like a good thing to have in our inventory. So where did we see an obelisk mentioned? Well, we needed to, to find the obelisk to communicate with Lakmir, and the way we do that is by using the Invocation spell on it. And a strange apparition coalesces from within the obelisk. The ghostly figure of an old man cloaked in a shimmering veil.
You have done well, simple soldier. Now, listen if you have ears, since the shadows grow long and time fleet. Some 40 years past, an evil, the likes the world has not beheld, escaped its prison. Talimar, the Black. he of whom I have already spoken. This warlock lord brought forth his dark magics and conjurations, and unleashed his foul vassals, desecrating these sacred halls. Talimar has laid waste to the combined power of man. And what of the Circle of 12, the great wizards? They are no more.
I have no memory of this place.
Pity me not, boy. We were resolute in our judgment, but erred greatly. 'Twould have been better to put our brother to death, but mercy and folly prevailed. I know not Talimar's full plans, but have discovered enough to fill my heart with fear. And yet, hope remains, and it stands or falters with you. Fare thee well.
Yeah, so at least now we know the identity of the villain that we're up against, Talimar the Black, and also our torch is starting to get dangerously low, so let's light a new one. And we are left with this scroll. I wonder what could be on it. Oh, it's that old rhyme. 5 to find, 3 are 1. 1 gives access, the bladed sun. The silver orb, could it be this one right here? To banish below. The staff of ages to vanquish the foe. Joining to the golden thorn, the last to invoke the platinum horn. This will all make sense in time, I'm sure, but let's take the scroll and the orb. The silver orb. I guess it is the one. Thanks for not loading quickly, Shadowgate, but... yeah, something that might not be obvious too is that if we hadn't done the thing with the gears, this place would be flooded. But it isn't so. The opening is blocked from above by some heavy object. Well, that sucks. But we might be able to get back there somehow. Oh boy. Well, the Wraith is back, unfortunately. But we don't need to go that way again, so let's just ignore it and be on our way. Okay, wait a moment. Well, but this nifty orb that he gave us. Yep, the Gear Wars. You know, thinking about those Gear Wars and how it happened sure grinds my gears. This orb that we were given by the wizard has a special function, which might not be obvious immediately, but will be shown in a moment. Hello. Because you see this water elemental here. It's made entirely of water and mist, and if you try to, for example, hit it, it just easily dances out of the way. However, if we use this orb that we just got on it, we can capture it inside the orb. And now we have a water enchanted orb with an elemental inside it. So we're being oppressive and abusive towards these elementals. But now that we have this water elemental, because we couldn't just get some water in, like, for example, that bottle we picked up, it wouldn't have worked. We need to return to where the footbridges are. And use our water enchanted orb on this brazier here to put the fire out. And now we can use the brazier. Look at it. Hit it. But that does nothing. Okay, wait a moment. Oh boy. Well, that didn't quite work, as I expected. We can't... Oh, fuck. You know what would be great Windows if you didn't have the window previews popping up in front of the game window? If you use our enchanted hammer on the thing... Hello? No, unselect it. Thank you. Select this, use on this thing. We can break it into a bowl and a hook. Because you're supposed to notice that the bottom part of it looks like a hook. So having acquired this handy bowl and hook, let us return to the earlier part of the castle yet again. Because we do need to do quite a lot of that. Return to the gears. And this time, again, I'm not sure how we're supposed to figure this out beyond trial and error, but there's a second combination we can use. And that is the first lever in the down position. The second lever in the middle. Oops, no, I said in the middle. Same with the third one. And indeed now. The sound of rushing water comes from deep within the castle. So let's go find out what that did. And on the way, we could also stop by the icy cave, the cellar. No, go please. Hello you, what's going on? And this time we use our orb on the ice elemental to capture it, and yes, now we have a frosty silver orb. Wonder what we could use it for. Yes, this is indeed the new Shadowgate, the Shadowgate remake. Has a lot of nifty new stuff in it, gotta say. And I'm playing it on the highest difficulty too, so we're gonna see a lot of it. So, quite intuitively at least, we use our silver orb on the lake to freeze it. And now we can go over to this guy. The captive, yes. And take notice first of this thing above him. It's intent to warn others away. Fortunately, oh, well, we can take maybe the blindfold that this guy has. Yeah, it's mine now, skeleton man. And yeah, skeleton key. By the way, oh god. Yep. And suddenly we are struck with vertigo, which is pretty much a sign that we're starting to succumb to the Banshee curse. Apparently he was clearly a thief and a pirate. So says Yorick. But we need to recover our silver orb. The torch flame momentarily flickers. Isn't that appropriate? We're gonna have to use it on the frozen lake to help the orb float to the top. And also, if you might recall, we tried another combination on the gears. And what that did was make the waterfall stop. There's only a trickle of water now. Yeah, the vertigo recedes, but now that the waterfall has stopped, we can find ourselves inside this room with a new skull in it. So let's take the skull, why not, and search this corpse as well. Which leaves us with 2 scrolls. There's also a couple of glyphs on the wall back there, but not much we can do with those, so... Let's see, yes. The first scroll has Mix spell. And the second scroll says... Undhelm. Fandral the High. Well, maybe this is Fandral, never mind. I don't know what significance that would have, though. Can we pick up this... yeah, we can pick up this stone, though I don't think we will need it. And apparently, yes, we said something to get him there. To get him the TO treatment. Oh god. I saw that flash of whiteness for some reason. Also, our torch is steadily going out, but I don't think we're gonna have much of a problem with that, because we are in fact warned when the torch is dangerously low by the music. And you know, there's something else here that's kind of exclusive to the highest difficulty. There's a third combination that we can do with the gears. In the middle difficulty there's only 2 we could do, but the third one is the middle lever is in the down position, and the right lever is in the middle position. Rattle of chains and some water moving in a rush. And our torch is very low now, so let's light a new one. And return to the entrance, because apparently... Oh, wait a moment. Nothing changed here, but we can use our newly acquired glyph skull on the second slot and the arch to further power up the castle. Okay, wait a moment. But as you might recall, there is something else that the first skull did. And while it powers up some things, it also creates a barrier in the initial version of the game. The initial... one of the first hallways, that is. I don't know why I'm saying words that I don't properly process before saying them. But now that we remove that skull, it is gone. So let's return to the waterfall. I don't know, that's grabbed by the ghoulies. I actually had that game. I beat it a few times, it was very short. It wasn't awful, but it was definitely not up to rare standards that they had established by the time. I will say that. So, the reason we came back here was to recover the water elemental, which we will need in a few moments. First, let's return to the mirror room. Yeah, the water elemental only shows up there if the waterfall is running. Now I think we might be able to use the... I haven't saved in a while, that was kind of dumb of me. The bar that we got to remove this this boulder here, which unlocks a quick way to the to the sewer underneath. But, you know, since we can't break the mirrors properly right now, let us break the only one that we can in fact break to rebuild this new door. And use the key we got from the skeleton to unlock it. And open it too. Which rebuilds a wave of... releases a wave of heat from the next room. So let's check it out, why not? Oh shit. An intense heat in this room, which... Oh. kept unbearable. So we can't even stay in that room for any real length of time because it's too hot, basically. So let's go ahead and descend into the sewer for a little while. Now that something else has been activated with the gears, the high sewer water is back, so let's submerge our cloak into the sewer water, which means that now we are the proud owners of a soaking wet cloak. But with this wet cloak, we can be better protected against the flames in this room. Which means we can stay here for a little bit longer. So let's go ahead and proceed. Open the door, except... the singularity explodes and reveals itself as a fire drake. So let's deal with it the same way we dealt with it in the old version and punch it. Except, yeah, we can't really defeat a dragon like this, especially not in the fiery room.
Tales of your great sacrifice shall be
Yes,
told.
your great sacrifice. You know who you are, guy. You know what you did. You're the owner of your own stupid ideas. So what we are supposed to do to conquer the fire drake is... well, we can begin by opening the door, but nope, they won't even let us do that right now. Out of the dragon's den and into the furnace, well, maybe. But we can use, luckily, our enchanted orb with the water elemental inside on the flames, I think. Which conquers the fire drake and leaves us free to proceed. Also, apparently I missed something yet again, because I recall we were supposed to find a gear by this point. But I don't have it with me right now, as luck would have it. So I suppose we're going to have to backtrack just a little bit.